going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for a new episode of our Madden Retro Rebuilds, where we start here in Madden 12, go a full decade, a full 10 years to current day Madden, and try to build an absolute dynasty. Today we are rebuilding the Carolina Panthers, and it is because it had probably the funnest starting point I think you could choose if you were doing a Panthers rebuild over the last decade. That is Cam Newton's rookie season. And not only that, we've played enough retro rebuilds. We've done, 5-6 teams right now. Cam Newton is a freak of nature. He's always one of the best. He wins MVPs. I wanted to experience just a little bit of that. Plus, I also wanted to kind of get off the trend of needing to draft a quarterback. I feel like it's good to take a little bit of a break from always having kind of the same direction you need to go in your rebuild. And this one here is, we have our quarterback. We are just going to have to build around him. Unfortunately, Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams both had portraits and stuff like that, but the face scans were all messed up. So I had to modify them slightly, but they were a hell of a 1-2 punch with the legendary, one of my favorite wide receivers ever, and in my opinion, the best former player analyst, I don't know if that's what you could call him, on the NFL Network. Without, like, Steve Smith during the combine, on the sidelines during the combine drills, he's fucking hilarious. He is absolutely awesome. And obviously at 32, he's getting up there in age a little bit, but he is still a 90 overall with a superstar dev. And he's going to be our premier wide receiver. Brandon LaFell, there's a name you haven't heard in a minute. But ultimately, I mean, even D'Angelo Williams for a running back, he's 28. He's getting up there in age a little bit. At least Jonathan Stewart is 24, so we have, at least some stability for the backfield, even though we have a two-headed attack right now. Three-headed attack if you are, throwing in Cam Newton as well. But we definitely need to add some more talent there, some younger talent at the wide receiver spot. O-line is pretty good. Headline, we got Jordan Gross, a veteran, made a couple Pro Bowls, 92 with a star dev at 31. We have Ryan Khalil, 87 superstar for, this decade. Ryan Khalil was like a top 5 center in the NFL, made a bunch of Pro Bowls, all pros. And then we have Jeff Ota, who I remember was really good, and I looked into it. He was an 85 overall in Madden 12. The ratings are as close to the Madden 12 ratings as I could get. He only played like 3-4 years, so I assume he had a bad injury. Can't remember. I remember the name, don't know his injury history, what happened. It seemed like his career was cut short a little bit. And then at tight end, you got the, as much as I want to say legend, because he played for the Giants. I was always a fan of Jeremy Shockey back in the day. He's a veteran at this point, but they got Greg Olsen. I believe this was a trade with the Chicago Bears. But G-Reg was, again, another one of my favorite players of all time. Awesome. Go back to his 7th Floor Crew rap, which is one of the greatest pieces of musical history ever created. And Greg Olsen, without a shadow of a doubt, spit the firest bars on that song. But the offense is good, man. Gotta get a little bit of, a shot of youth injection. Our tackle there, right tackle's old. Our star wide receiver's a little old. Our star running back's getting up there in age. But we have Cam Newton. We have Greg Olsen. We have a couple nice pieces there. Flipping to the defense, we do have Greg Hardy for the time being. Obviously, a big piece of shit. He was a really good football player. I just don't want no part of this. I hate Greg Hardy so much. So just because we have literally our next best edge rusher was this guy, Kaiser, I never heard of. We'll have Greg Hardy play this year, but I won't be engaging any dev trait scenarios or stuff like that. Rest of the D-line, outside of Charles Johnson, who was always very underrated, very consistent for the Carolina Panthers, 86 star dev. We really do need to overhaul this entire defensive line, which makes it awkward because the first draft that we're going to have, the 2012 draft, is the Luke Kuechly draft. And look at our linebacker core. We have John Beeson, who was a 97 overall in Madden 12. Thomas Davis, who's an 81. We have Anderson, who I'm not going to lie, I kind of forgot about him, to be honest with you. He's 85. I really do want to get Luke Kuechly. So we might be able to trade a linebacker or something like that. My plan right now is to get Luke Kuechly. But then again, this team will probably sim particularly well, and you're going to need a top 10 pick to get Luke Kuechly. Safeties, we got Martin, Charles Godfrey, Darius Butler, Chris Gamble, Captain Munnerlyn in the secondary. So we have a couple guys. Gamble's, again, getting up there in age a little bit, 28, near the end of his prime. Munnerlyn with the star dev, he is just at the beginning, so he should be a long-term piece for us in our secondary. But plenty to build around, but also plenty to fix, plenty to improve here over the next 10 years. And I almost guarantee that Cam Newton is going to make the Super Bowl like he did in real life, but he's going to win the Super Bowl at some point during this 10 years. So without further ado, let's get into year number 1. Look at our first free agent. Season is not going well, by the way. We got a couple of just ridiculous contracts they'd be stupid not to pick up. I got Gary Williams, I just gave him 5 years, so we're always going to have a really good swing tackle. I got Jeff Schwartz on a 5-year deal. He's a starting guard. And I got Captain Munnerlyn coming back on a 5-year deal, especially 23 start. If you want to maximize that, Actually, I had to ask a buddy of mine, as we look for the Panthers, we're actually taking on Ron's new team, and they're 0-9, but we're 3-7, so like, from a standpoint of like trying to suck enough to get Luke Kuechly, which I clearly want to do. He's a GOAT, and I want to see what happens if he never retired, if he's still playing in today's NFL. We can go the full 10 years. But I was like, why did they draft Luke Kuechly? I know real life in Madden, you can't, they're not the same. But I was like, this doesn't make sense. You look at our current linebacking core, absolutely stacked. Like, why would you need to draft Luke Kuechly? From a Madden standpoint, like, these were just the ratings. 83 for Thomas Davis, 98 for Beeson. Anderson was an 85. And this was Davis and Beeson both had injuries. They were coming off pretty substantial injuries. Never knew if they'd return to form. And Luke Kuechly, Ron Rivera, obviously former linebacker himself, was like kind of BPA. So what I'm thinking is if we are out of range, say if we get heat, I'm probably going to trade Anderson just because I think he's the least memorable, I guess, of the Panthers linebacker here. And we'll use one of these linebackers anyways to maybe juice our pickup to be able to go select Luke Kuechly. Late in year one, Charles Godfrey, our starting strong safety, goes off normal dev up to a star dev. Good get for the back end of the defense. So at the end of year one for the Panthers, things were okay. Anytime you get a rookie quarterback, even if they're going to be as dominant as Cam Newton, and trust me, when you see where his stats and all that stuff are at, he's dominant, it's still tough to win. There's a reason why the Panthers are coming off from, would have been last year, the worst team. They had the best pick. They had the top pick to Cam Newton. To go to 8-9 is a good first baby step for sure. Taking a look at our team, I don't really think we had any league leaders by any means, but Cam Newton was solid, 4,400 yards passing, 29 touchdowns, 10 picks. I don't know if we're currently going with Panthers playbook and I can't remember, maybe Panthers defensive playbook, offensive defense. I'm not using anything because Riverboat Ron's D playbook right now for Washington is a 3-4, and we're absolutely not running a 3-4. Even though that could solve our Luke Kuechly dilemma because you can just play him in the middle. The rest of the team is not built like that, and I was like, I look back and like the Panthers didn't rock a 3-4 at this time either. But point being, I don't know offensively, if the current Panthers playbook is good enough for Cam Newton, or should we look at something like the Ravens? Because we got to get him scrambling a little bit. Like, that is not Cam Newton. 16 touchdowns from Jonathan Stewart, absolutely vulturing. Okay season there from D'Angelo Williams on the receiving front, 900 yards, 5 touchdowns. Steve Smith, 9-7 for Brandon LaFell, 8-4. Greg Olsen, David Geddes had 9 receiving touchdowns on the defensive side of the ball. John Beeson, 130 tackles. You know what? We talked about the 7-floor clue. I'm pretty sure John Beeson was also on that track with Greg Olsen. Okay? 16.5 sacks on 16 TFLs for Charles Johnson, who went from star up to a superstar with this production, with that outstanding season. So congratulations to him for winning Defensive Lineman of the Year. Spoiler alert. It's always kind of unheralded from those old Panther teams. 12.5 sacks there, James Anderson, who, you know what, if it was just purely Madden, Thomas Davis would be the linebacker I'd try to pick. Oh my God, he went up dev too. He'd be the linebacker I'd try to package to move up a couple picks. But he's obviously very, very legendary, I think it's fair to say, for the Carolina Panthers. And I just can't let him walk. So Anderson coming off a huge season. He did not go up a dev trade, but he's also 28, so he's getting close to that regression point, that regression ceiling. 5 picks, Chris Gamble, pretty decent. Taking a look at the yearly awards, MVP went to Drew Brees. And then in the NFC, Drew Brees there. We have Cam Newton, offensive. And another reason why I'm not really worried about the playbooks right now is because I've seen Cam Newton just regularly doing the sim win the MVP. Like multiple times with whatever the current conditions are for the Carolina Panthers. So we should put it all together here in this scheme as long as we continue to build the team up around him. And looking here, Charles Johnson, Defensive Lineman of the Year. That is pretty dope. But again, we've made our intentions fairly clear as we go into this offseason. We will look at the rest of the team just to see if there's any other dev traits, show you guys what Cam Newton's working with. But I do want to get Luke Kuechly. I want to follow those same steps in Panther history because Luke Kuechly is an absolute monster. And it's a terrific what-if situation because we'll be able to go to present day and not have him retire early due to injuries. But Cam Newton is a superstar X factor, which makes a whole lot of sense, man. And of all the quarterback prospects that have left the last decade or so, handful of them earned a superstar dev trade. I just think for how dynamic Cam Newton is, he's superstar at minimum, and I'm going to have some fun here with a superstar X factor. We got to work on the archetypes, though. Clearly got to get him escape artist. But I do feel like probably the best ability for a Cam Newton is Freight Train. Like, I think of Cam Newton, I think one of his best plays is just where he's unstoppable. You can't bring him down. And I figure, like, that's probably Freight Train would best represent that. On the defensive side of the ball, in terms of depth trade, so we saw Charles Johnson go from star up to a superstar. Thomas Davis went from star up to a superstar. Godfrey went from normal to star in season, and then from star to superstar. We'll be able to see that, actually, I think, in his progression history, his 2 dev trade increases. He got one at the end of the season, and he hit one right there. So as you can see, week 17, gets the plus star dev. And then that's awesome, man. We'll take that, Charles. He was a solid player. I never really remembered him as a superstar player. But we'll absolutely take that win on the defensive side of the ball. So now we go into the offseason where priority number 1 is getting Luke Kuechly. Made a couple decent signings here. 4 free agents. We've got one of the better D tackles, former Philadelphia Eagle, Broderick Bunkley. Got him on a 2-year deal, too, so we're not going to worry about regression or the contract aging well. I got Mike Tolbert. We're going to kick him to fullback. He was just a guy that I associated with these the Carolina Panthers era type team, so why not throw him into the backfield mix? Then we just grab a kicker here and Garrett Hartley. Let's go. Remember Mike Tolbert? Currently hold pick 15. If we want Luke Kuechly, he's probably going to go between 8 and 11. So to play it safe, I'm going to try to trade up to pick 6, 5, 7, somewhere in that range. Let's see if we can package a linebacker in 15 to do so. This is looking good. Pick 5's held by the Buffalo Bills. They actually need a right outside linebacker. So this should have a very high success rate. It is. So I'm going to be just very mad if Luke Kuechly goes before pick 5. I don't think he will, but he might. So let's see. Pick 1 goes Andrew Luck. Pick 2 goes RG3. Pick 3 goes Matt Khalil. Pick 4 goes Mo Claiborne. And here at pick 5, we could have went lower. It just worked out that the Buffalo Bills needed a linebacker. Like, I figure, usually the board, it follows it fairly in line. Like, we could have been able to get Kuechly at 12, 13, somewhere like that. But better safe than sorry. Get one of the most iconic players. Is he the most? Like, in terms of pound for pound and consistencies, Luke Kuechly, the most talented Carolina Panther ever? I think there's a legitimate argument to be had if it's not a unanimous, resounding yes. So we had to make sure we did everything in our power to get Luke Kuechly on our team. And we did. But now we don't have a second round pick. We had to wait all the way till the 3rd round. So take a look at our draft recap. The one player from this draft in Raleigh that I would have loved to get, but broke the rules because we don't have picks 1 or 2. We just sim it out. Josh Norman. This was the year they got Luke Kuechly and Josh Norman in the same draft, and unfortunately, it does not look like we got him. We got some decent guys. We got Mohamed Sanu, 61. That's pretty low in the 3rd round. He does have a hidden dev, so we can work on that. The best quarterback, best trick play wide receiver, maybe. Underrated trick play wide receiver, because, you think of, like, Julian Edelman, guys like that. But he was sick. He was one of those guys, like, back in the day, my buddies would switch him to quarterback, and when we were playing couch co-op. We got Jared Crick in the 4th round. Tahir Whitehead might have a depth trade. 5th round. He's a solid linebacker. He's had a nice career. Does not, so he's going to be more of a depth. We got Winston Guy at safety. Derek Shelby at defensive end. So I already know right now, we got Luke Kuechly secured. Outstanding, 81. He's got to be at least a superstar, I would assume. Face scan and everything ready to go. Bad news, we got nothing outside of Charles Johnson in terms of pass rush right now on this team. So that is going to be our goal going into next season is pass rush. Mohamed Sanu is a 61 wide receiver. He does have the dev, but we probably still need more at wide receiver too with Steve Smith on the downturn. Your 2 free agents, fairly expensive, but really good players. We got Jeff Ota. I gave him a 5-year deal. I got Steve Smith till he retires. Got him on a 3-year deal worth $50 million. 5 years for Jonathan Stewart, so we're going to have him for his prime as we go down here. I was like, all right, Greg Hardy's starter, but obviously piece of shit. Let's get him out of the building. Brad LaFell. He was kind of a guy. I offered him whatever this fair offer was. He wants more money, so we can go F himself. The end of year 2, pretty bad. 6 and 11, we have so many holes, especially on the offensive side of the ball, man. We have 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end. Our passing offense is always going to be limited. We have a top 5 pick in the upcoming draft, which let's do some damage. Very much going to be in a BPA, not looking for a, revival type situation where you take a known bunch. We're going to be looking for a good player. Take a look at the stats here this year. Does it tell the tale of the story? Cam Newton's playing a little bit better. 4,300 yards, 33 touchdowns. Jonathan Stewart, 12 rushing touchdowns. Getting a little bit more to Cam Newton as a rusher. So, our rushing offense looks pretty good. 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. Steve Smith, Greg Olsen just finished shy of 1,000, but double-digit touchdowns. 600 yards of LaFell, almost 6 and 4 for the rookie Sanu, who started as a 61 up to a 69, and he's scheme fit, so that definitely helps. So interesting there. Continue his development. John Beeson led the team with 148 tackles. Luke Kuechly had 115, 3 interceptions. And of course, he is a superstar X Factor. I don't know what would be the best ability for Kuechly. Like selfless would be one. Honestly, that's probably it. Mind Reader. Once we get the field generator, that's definitely going to be Luke Kuechly's ability. But he's an absolute hoss. And, can do everything. Stud. Whatever you want to call him, man. He is absolutely amazing. And one of the... Since I've watched football, he's a top 5 middle linebacker that I've seen. 11.5 sacks, Thomas Davis. He just used as our rusher for some reason in our scheme. Because we don't have someone on the other side of Charles Johnson. Taking a look at the awards. Probably have Defensive Rookie of the Year for Kuechly. MVP goes to Matt Ryan. So that's within the division. Annoying. Offensive Rookie of the Year with Andrew Luck. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Wow. Luke Kuechly runner-up and Mohamed Sanu runner-up for both of those awards. Not gonna see any Carolina Panthers, I don't think. So let's go to have a big free agent period. We have plenty of money. We're gonna have a top draft pick, and let's make this team a little bit more competitive for year 3. And we start our offseason with our best skill position player retiring for 12 years. All right, we're going wide receiver in the draft because the best wide receiver available is like Jordan Shipley on the free agency market. So we went with some veterans here in terms of free agency. I got Sean Phillips at pass rusher just in case we can't hit that pass rusher with our first 2 picks in the draft because pass rusher and wide receiver are our 2 biggest needs. And then we got a veteran here in Rashad Jones, a free safety, 3-year deal, so we have him for his prime. He should get up into the 80s as well. Was a really good player for the Miami Dolphins back in the day. Fairly easy selection here. There's one wide receiver who is the best of the best in the 2013 draft, and that is going to be DeAndre Hopkins. I did think about taking Deion Jordan was still on the board for a pass rusher, but again, our team is at a spot where I don't know if have the luxury to try to get a revival like a Deion Jordan, a freak of nature who unfortunately was taking Mexican supplements to maybe perhaps reach those levels of freak of nature. So very happy able to land DeAndre Hopkins, clear-cut wide receiver 1 for this team, and Cam Newton going forward. Down to the second round, absolutely nothing at pass rusher. Nothing. Bjorn Werner, we've used him in a rebuild before, but no, he sucks. You know, he was a known bust. You know what? I guess we could go Tank Carradine because the corners aren't much better either. So, God, yeah, brutal. So take a look at our draft recap. Hopkins, 75 hidden dev. Much like last year with Luke Kuechly, we know we got an absolute stud. It's about what the depth trade is going to be. It could be X Factor, could be Superstar. I hope it's not a star. That'd be disappointing. Take Carradine, not a brutal rating. Normal dev, 67. We got Jonathan Banks, Deion Sims, Lane Taylor, Luke Wilson. Got a 70 punter. Sam Martin, I'll take that. But really, this incredibly top-heavy draft class, DeAndre Hopkins. But glad that we got him, man. He's going to be an absolute superstar for our offense. Look at our team as we gear up for year 3. It's also a good year that if we do suck, there's plenty of pass rush help because I think that's one of our biggest needs. But Cam Newton, 91, X Factor, got Escape Riders, got all of that. Still got Williams and Stewart. We got DeAndre Hopkins, Mohamed Sanu, Greg Olsen as our receiving threats. O-line is pretty much the exact same as when we started. Defensively, as you can see, we got wicked progress on the defensive line. Buckley, Johnson, really the only 2 guys we feel kind of decent about. Sean Phillips, veteran at this point, just a 1-year Band-Aid. Gamble's starting to regress a little bit. Marlon's been solid. Godfrey's been solid. Linebacking core is obviously the focal point of this defense with 2 X Factors in Beeson and Luke Kuechly. We've got Rashad Jones coming as a free agency. Probably the best free agency signing that we made this past offseason. And he's going to be a good starter for us, and I still don't think he's quite at his ceiling. So I think he should be able to get up into the 80s. But definitely you can see the weaknesses of this team. We need a pass rush. We need to work on the D-line. We need to bring in another corner. And, hopefully they hold on this year because I think the offense is definitely good enough to make the playoffs here in year 3. Kind of a light free agency. We're going Terrell McLean. I tried doing cheap deals, but ultimately the only veteran I am going to bring back is at guard, and that is Warden. I ain't re-signing anybody. Sorry, Jimmy Clausen. Shit, one of the best sim games. We needed it too. That win, week 18 over the Jags, probably secured us the NFC South title, 10-7. But look at this from Cam Newton, 7 total touchdowns, 316 yards through the air, 6 passing touchdowns, did have an interception, but he had 9 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. I think that's now a pace car. I don't think I've ever hit 7 sim touchdowns from a player. But then again, when you're a 95 X Factor, if someone's gonna do it, it's gonna be you. Outstanding. Cam Newton did not finish as a top passing leader. I mean, I think that's a little bit down to our scheme. John Beeson had the leading tackle leader. Leading tackle leader, that makes sense. But look at this. Cam Newton, 7th in yards, 2nd in passing touchdowns, 4,800 passing yards, 42 touchdowns. Also at 275 rushing. Again, that's, you know, we could up those numbers if we wanted to go to the Ravens or maybe Cardinals playbook. Don't really want to do that. 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns for our X-Factor wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. I actually was thinking about under the hood, maybe making him a superstar, but I mean, he's freaking DeAndre Hopkins. He's the X-Factor. The guy who made this spent time, blood, sweat, and tears making these draft classes, thinks DeAndre Hopkins is an X-Factor. Who am I to deny? We knew he was going to be good. There's a reason why we made that pick. Just shy of 1,000 yards for Greg Olsen, almost 10 touchdowns for Mohamed Sanu. Defensively, John Beeson leading the league in tackles with 156. 11.5 sacks, Charles Johnson. 8.5 there from Sean Phillips. 4 picks, Captain Marley. 4 for Godfrey. 3 from Luke Kuechly. Oh, pretty goddamn good number. I think Cam might have a chance at MVP here. And he's third. The running backs trumped him. I mean, you didn't have 50. I almost feel like that you got to get the 50 to feel confident to have that MVP award go to your guy. Didn't he win Offensive Player of the Year runner-up? DeAndre Hopkins, Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's dope. Cam Newton is at least Quarterback of the Year. DeAndre Hopkins, Wide Receiver of the Year as a rookie, which is a tremendous pace that he set. Captain Marlin, DB of the Year. Godfrey at number 2. I would love Godfrey Superstar. Marlin is a star. One of those two to go up depth trait. That'd be pretty cool. But I need to just quickly see before we even go on the playoffs. What did Marshawn Lynch do? Like 25 touchdowns? You know what? All right, I'll give it to him. That's not ridiculous. I still think you give the edge to the quarterback. If this was real life, they'd be giving the edge to the quarterback there. But here we go. First round of the playoffs. Tennessee is Marshawn Lynch versus Cam Newton. And Cam Newton, 38-13. Says you might get the individual awards, Mr. Beast Mode. But Cam Newton came to play. 3 touchdowns, no picks, whereas Marshawn Lynch went for 67 yards and only 1 touchdown. I think we rest our case. Now we have Dallas in the second round. Anytime you have an opportunity to beat Dallas, you absolutely got to take it. Well, actually, with this one, we'll make sure we spend our upgrades just because we want to be full strength. I don't think there's anyone here that actually needs to... Oh, might as well. Let's see what we have for Cam. I've been trying to get him into a scheme fit now. Once we have already got Escape Artist and Gunslinger and all the good abilities, you might as well just... He's going to be 99 in everything before all is said and done here. We're year 3, and he's almost 95. He's just getting started, you know? Well, let's see if we can take down Dallas. Very tough team in the sim. Probably the hardest team to see in the sim from the NFC, and we handle business 34-24, and it is a matchup against the San Francisco 49ers, the 1 seed in the NFC. Clean from Cam Newton. Absolute clean. Yet to throw an interception. Usually when you get these kind of runs, you lose this one. You're like, oh man, I just got 2 surprising ones. We're not actually going to make the Super Bowl. Niners got nothing for us. They lost Navarro Bowman in free agency, and we're doing it live, baby. We literally just straight out, you just saw a Super Bowl run, and we are going in year 3 to take on the 10-7 Pittsburgh Steelers. And you know, of course, we're going to sit front row for this one. Cam Newton takes on Ben Roethlisberger, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's hoping also the game just doesn't crash. I have noticed there have been crashes when we go to the Super Bowl. But this is really early. This actually might be our earliest Super Bowl appearance in the retro rebuilds, which is odd because Carolina, from a starting point, obviously we had Cam Newton, but from an overall point, they are one of the lowest overall teams at that Madden 12 starting point. A bunch of field goals, low scoring game. As you can tell, we got Beeson, Luke Kuechly dominating the field. We get the first touchdown of the game. Does look like, man, we're not... Oh, there we go. Pittsburgh finally gets on the board in terms of a touchdown. We had to settle for a field goal. We are deep in their territory, and they did not break. They get a field goal. We have 2:18 for this young Cam Newton to turn the ball over on downs. And it's just inexperience. The more experienced team, the more experienced quarterback got the dub. Will be back. That's brutal. That's who, even though we've used him before, I need pass rusher, and I was like, Tank Lawrence is probably going to be my first pick. But we had to wait all the way to pick 31. That is what we need. We need a pass rusher. No other real teamings. We could look at wide receiver 3, which would be Kelvin Benjamin in this scenario. We wouldn't go cheesy, but I would go 100% if there's a S-tier pass rusher. There was a Khalil Mack or something that slipped. We got Cody Ealy, who feel like he's found his way on almost every team we've rebuilt so far in Retro Rebuilds. We have Stephon Tuitt on the other side. We've drafted him before, and he was actually pretty bad. Calvin, like, just no pass rushers, dude. Corners aren't much better. That's probably where we're going to go, honestly. Looking at what's available, how bad our secondary is, I think our first-round pick is going to be Darqueze Dennard. Yikes. Hey, you know what? We'll count this one. We had Luke Kuechly and DeAndre Hopkins. Year 3 draft, we can go a little bit on the bad side. But we'll follow up with a player who actually was a selection and a pretty good player for the Carolina Panthers. And I'm going to get Trey Turner, guard out of LSU with the hidden dev. So, take a look at our draft recap. Free agency was garbage. Again, I got to go in just one of these days. Just like edit the base file to make free agency a little bit better. Not bad. 70 Dennard, normal dev. Trey Turner was 73 hidden dev. We got Aaron Colvin, 68 normal. Devon Kennard, 64. Is he pass rush? He's a run stopper. Hidden dev. Damn, man, I need a pass rusher. Like, that guy's just going to be buried on our depth chart. We got Justin McCray, a 72 guard. I mean, the computer did okay, honestly, all things considered, but still just missing a pass rusher. Free agents here, talking about some of our veterans. I'm going to keep Greg Olsen until he retires, giving him a 5-year deal at 29. Jordan Gross gave him a 2-year contract, so he'll be here till he retires. And I got Chris Campbell on a 1-year deal. Worst case scenario, he's a solid corner 3 for our team next season. Year 4, making the playoffs. Falcons kind of ran away with the division, but 11-6. I will take that. That ain't too shabby. Take a look at our stats here in year 4. Cam Newton, first in the NFL in touchdowns with 42. 4,300 yards passing, rushing yards still kind of non-existent. Huge yard of Jonathan Stewart. I'll take that. 5 little vultures there from the fullback, Mike Tolbert, like him getting involved. No 1,000-yard receiver. What? Greg Childs. Huh. Defensively, John Beeson, good big beast. 137, 4 picks. Luke Kuechly, 136, 3 picks. 9.5 sacks, Charles Johnson on 20 TFLs. That's very good, but again, man, we need a freaking pass. I'm getting desperate to a point that I might have to trade multiple first-round picks so we can go up and get a pass rusher. That might be the only way we find one. Philip Rivers is the MVP. Cam Newton is the runner-up. It's only a matter of time until Cam gets his MVP. He's Offensive Player of the Year. He is actually not Quarterback of the Year, which is kind of odd. No other awards. I take that back. We had Kicker of the Year. Let's go. Garrett Hartley. Shout out to him. First round in the wild card against the 10-7 Seattle Seahawks. It's who we met last year. Marshawn Lynch versus Cam Newton. We got them both times. They cannot defeat us. Now we're going against the first place team in the division, the 14-win Atlanta Falcons squad. They do not stand a chance. And with the Super Bowl, our second straight Super Bowl appearance on the line, it's us and the Eagles. And unfortunately, damn, the superior franchise on this day is moving on to the Super Bowl. Hell of a run, though, for our team. Happy with it, man. We're going to win. We are winning a Super Bowl this rebuild. I'm going to finally try to spend some money here in the offseason. I'm going to look at bringing in Pot Roast on a 2-year deal. Got to be that veteran presence on the D-line. Hey, welcome to the squad, Terrence Pot Roast Knighton. Damn it, man, they just went on a run of pass. I was literally like trying to figure out when the jump-off point was. There's Bud Dupree, Eric Armstead, kind of mid-rounds. And Eric Armstead could have went. Bud Dupree was a reach. That was like 10 spots off. So I think we're just going to pick at the scraps of who's left at 29. No one's really worth trading up from that spot. I don't know. We're going to have like Shane Ray. It wasn't the strongest pass rush class. You know, there's Dante Fowler, Eric Armstead. Eric Armstead was probably the belle of the ball. Vic Beasley was there. We got Preston Smith. He could actually be kind of nice. Frank Clark's there, but that's a little bit of a reach. I don't want to get a third round guy in the first round. But I'll tell you what, I'll get Preston Smith here, and if Buddy's still available, hey, we got Hidden Def. You know what? We got Hidden Def here, Preston Smith. Maybe that's good enough. One of the names that are left here as we pick at 29 in the second round. Don't really need. I mean, we could go wide receiver. Yeah, and you're dealing with busts in that spot. But, you know, the guy, honestly, that looks the most appealing is, like, our running backs are getting a little bit old. So I think we'll add some speed. We don't generally have any speed. You know, Jonathan Stewart's here. He's our power back. D'Angelo Williams is regressing. So let's grab Tevin Coleman. Bring that 93 speed, and he's popping a Hidden Def. Okay, so looking at our draft recap. Good first pick, Preston Smith, hidden depth. Second pick wasn't the, in terms of like what we need, he's going to be a backup. But Tevin Coleman bringing a little bit of juice to the backfield. Computer got us, oh shit, Grady Jarrett. Not a scheme fit at all, but I don't care. We'll take it. We'll make it work. You might as well make him a pass rusher, for God's sakes. 67 hidden dev, Grady. Isn't the Falcons draft? And the Falcons get Tevin Coleman and Grady Jarrett the same year. We got Devin Smith, 63. We got Brett Hundley as our backup. Denzel Good and someone named Tavares Barnes out of Clemson, 58. 54 for Hundley. That's just unfair, I think. But 3 hidden dev players. Let's go. Year 5 in-house free agency, big-time contract for the veteran John Beeson, but absolutely deserves every bit of that 3-year deal. We got Hartley coming back, Schwartz coming back. I decided to give Mohamed Sanu a 3-year deal and a 1-year deal for the great Thomas Davis. And almost 10-7 didn't make the playoffs. Top 10 offense, top 5 defense, 10-7 didn't make the playoffs, dude. What is that shit? Disgusting. Top 10 touchdowns for Cam Newton, 33 tutties. Big year to Jonathan Stewart. Don't know why D-Hop didn't get involved. Beeson, a lot of time. Huge year to John Beeson. Glad we re-signed him. 151 tackles, 10 TFLs, 8.5 sacks, 3 picks. Did everything. 11 sacks, pot roast. 8.5 Charles Johnson. Rookie Preston Smith. I'll take that out of a rookie. What is his dev? It's a star dev. That's fine. For a 71 overall hidden dev rookie, give me 6 tackles, 11 TFLs, 7 sacks in his rookie season. I will take that. We need to get the interceptions up here a little bit. We don't really have a lockdown corner on the roster just yet. That's very much a work in progress. Yearly awards. Arian Foster is the MVP. Then quickly burning through all these awards. Preston Smith is the defensive rookie of the year. Awesome. Could he potentially be in for a dev trade increase? Because that's probably the only way to salvage this year 5. And taking a quick little gander at the roster. Nothing in terms of dev traits on the offensive. At least that's the kind of good thing. If DeAndre Hopkins has like a weird off year, he already has the X factor. It's just more so, come on, get it going. Terrence Knight went from star to superstar. Grady Jarrett is just straight up a superstar. All right. Nice. That's a good D-line. Went from a suspect D-line to a great D-line in 1 year. Brutal. Kind of went all in on a corner. Casey Edwards, superstar dev corner. And he said, nope. We are here with pick 18 in the 2016 draft. Looking at where we need to get better. I think it's about time we could look at a left tackle, even though we have Williams here, just waiting in the wings. Could look at tackle. Could look at that 3rd wide receiver spot. Defensively, we are very much in the need of a free safety and a corner. I'd say free safety and corner are our big 2 needs. Big 2 needs. Artie Burns just went off the board, which is kind of good because he's kind of a bust. Last year, we did take a bust corner, Dequez Denard, or 2 years ago, sorry. So we're kind of due to get a potentially good corner. But let's take a look. At wide receiver, we have Corey Coleman, Josh Doxson, or Sterling Shepard. Shepard is kind of more proven. Tackle, Taylor Decker. Obviously, Larry Tunsil, right? That's an easy selection. Right now, Larry Tunsil is in the pole position to get this first pick. We have Leonard Floyd as an outside linebacker, more of a pass rusher. Not what we're looking for. I would love maybe Deion Jones on the second swing of things into the second round. A couple first rounders, Jalen Smith, Miles Jack. Couldn't go wrong with either one of them. But I'd rather focus on the second. And there you go. I think we've drafted James Bradbury before, but to be able to kind of get a player that was already drafted and very good, for the most part, by the Carolina Panthers, I think that's too good to pass up. So we are going to reunite, much like we did with Lee Kuechly 4 drafts ago, another former pretty damn good Carolina Panthers draft pick. Here's our good karma, because we're going to pass up. We already mentioned wide receivers in need. Michael Thomas and or Tyler Boyd would both be S-tier cheesy picks. Moving on to the secondary needs. Tackle. I think the tackle market has clearly dried up. Looking at outside linebacker. Definitely drying up as well. Not in love with any of those picks. What about safety? Can we get a good safety? Von Bell. That's going to be our guy. He might have a dev. Not overly optimistic. We could go a couple spots down and get Kevin Byard, but we'll play it fair and square and hopefully rewarded with a dev trade. He's a top fit for the Carolina Panthers. Damn. Okay, take a look at our draft recap. Would love to see a couple studs picked up by the computer. James Bradbury, 70. Hidden Dev. Von Bell, 68 normal. We got Isaac Seomalu. Not a bad depth center. We got John Theus, 72. Kentrell Brothers. I think that's a fairly generous rating, but we'll take that. Trey Caldwell, some guy named Pace Murphy. Don't know half of these guys, but shout out to James Bradbury back in Charlotte. Well, it's times like this, I'm glad we have been, and usually it trends to go in the way of light free agency in the retro rebuilds. We have given up almost, I actually didn't go the full 7 because there's not that many years left in the rebuild, and going 5 was a less cap hit. So we got Luke Kuechly on a 5-year, $102 million deal. I got Cam Newton on I think it was 5-year, like 260, 270. So over $300 million though. Almost 4 between Luke Kuechly and Cam Newton. We're gonna come back for Ryan Khalil. He didn't want the money. Same with Charles Johnson. We're not letting them walk. We got Pot Roast on a deal, Munnerlin on a deal. We'll re-sign Charles Godfrey. And I do think I'll throw probably Thomas Davis, another 1-year contract. But massive money being thrown around. And luckily, we've been light in free agency, so we can afford to do so. Year 6, same record as last year, but this time we actually make the playoffs. 10-7 for our 87 overall Carolina Panther team. And I just want to ignore the fact that I saw Jimmy Clausen there as the 3rd top passer. Not just, what the fuck? What kind of year is that? We better have, okay, so the touchdowns went up in terms of rushing. But still, 21 touchdowns. I did nothing different. He had 33, 42, 42, 33, and then just 21 out of the blue. Nothing else has really changed. Weird, but we made the playoffs, I guess. 1,000 yards for DeAndre Hopkins, which is pretty cool. Defensively, Beeson, 153 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 7.5 sacks, Pot Roast. Still don't have that prolific pass rusher. 4 picks, Charles Godfrey, who we got re-signed. 3 picks there for Luke Kuechly. He got himself a fresh new $100 million deal. Derek Carr is the MVP and just burning through these awards. Looking for some Carolina Panthers. We got absolutely nothing, but you know what? I'll take nothing and a chance to go and win our first Super Bowl of the rebuild every day of the week. And it all starts here in the wildcard round against the 12-5 Commanders. And yes, I call them Commanders because I need to get used to saying that. And fuck the football team, man. One and done. Brutal. Free agency. Need a left tackle. Jordan Gross no longer with the team. I think he retired. So we got Lane Johnson just chilling here. Super ridiculous contract. So why not try to get him in on a 5-year? Able to secure the services of Lane Johnson, plug and play left tackle for the remainder of this rebuild on a S-tier type contract for the team. So we are here with the 2017 NFL Draft. Very quick look at what we need for our team. Again, offensively, wide receiver is really the S-tier type pick. Defensively, outside linebacker to replace Thomas Davis. We do have Kennard there, but could be an option. Corner, we did not pick up the 5th-year option on Darqueze Dennard, so if we can get like a baller at corner. So corner, outside linebacker, wide receiver is what we're looking at here at pick 22 in the 2017 NFL Draft. Let's see what we got. In the secondary, Kevin King and or Sidney Jones, Quincy Wilson. Not, I'd rather not. Outside linebacker, we got Hassan Reddick, who's not, Actually, you know what? He actually is a fit because he's more of a pass rusher. And for whatever reason, Thomas Davis, that role in this scheme has been a pass rusher. So unless wide receiver's looking really good, which is there's not much there, our first pick is going to be Hassan Reddick out of Temple. I don't know anything about Dev. Might have a Dev. Those stats look absolutely off the charts, but of course, unfortunately, a normal Dev. Here's a situation where we just reunite a player that got drafted by the original team. We have Curtis Samuel, who obviously also looks like the most appealing wide receiver left on the board, but he was a pick of the Carolina Panthers. No Dev! Brutal. So, draft recap here. 2 normal devs kind of suck, but look at the ratings. I'll take that. 78 normal dev Hassan Reddick, 73 normal dev Curtis Samuel. The computer goes with Tariq Cohen in the 3rd round, 74 normal. Brutal. Got Nathan the Goat Peterman, Monte Nicholson. He sometimes has a dev. He does not here. Pita Taumopenu. I mean, the ratings are outstanding. All almost close to the 70 mark outside of Nathan Peterman. But obviously, the no dev traits, lacking that. Kind of a standard free agency, but top heavy. DeAndre Hopkins got him on a 5-year deal, almost $100 million. You got Jeff Oda, run your linemen into the ground. I say that and stress that every rebuild. For anyone else there, want to take a hint or a tip from watching me. Straight up, if you have a good lineman, they're not going to regress too bad. keep them until they retire. Jonathan Stewart production hasn't been amazing. It's been inconsistent, but I feel like at this point, might as well at this point just keep him. Trey Turner's been very good, 89. We got him actually on a 5-year deal. Gotta have a little bit of a change in the guard. I figured why not keep Tolbert and Thomas Davis around for one more year. And I guess at the end of year, what are we on, 7? We're on year 7 and we're still fucking around like this. 8-9, 32nd ranked passing defense, top 10 offense. I mean, we need a lockdown corner. We need someone else that can help Munnerlyn and Bradbury, like get an X factor guy and make those guys your 2 and 3. Goody from Cam Newton, 4,500 yards, 34 touchdowns, 1,000 yards for Jonathan Stewart, 1,000 yards for the rookie Curtis Samuel. Why is DeAndre Hopkins not eating? That's a question I would love to answer. John Beeson, insane season, 156 tackles, 6 interceptions, 143 tackles, 4 interceptions for Luke Kuechly. That is shaping up like an all-time pairing. Reminds me of Brian Urlacher and like Lance Briggs. 9.5 sacks there, Charles Johnson, 7.5 Preston Smith. Again, don't have that premier pass rusher still. And I mean, when your linebackers are getting 10 picks, maybe you don't need your corners to live and die off interceptions like they're Trayvon Diggs, but still, you want to see better than, clear as day, 32nd ranked passing defense. Looking for the awards here for some beloved Panthers. Absolutely nothing. So we're going into year 8, starting to get a little worried, man. Gotta get that Super Bowl. I don't think we've not won a Super Bowl yet with any team. So I tried to do a thing, but that said thing didn't work. All right, don't even want. I gotta show you just to know my frustration. But we desperately needed a corner, and of course, Jair Alexander goes right before. That would have been our S tier pick. There's a couple actually good players that are members of the Carolina Panthers, or at least have been. We have DJ Moore here, wide receiver. Kind of do need a wide out. But, after missing out Odell Beckham Jr. in free agency, maybe it's not meant to be. But would be a great player. And then you look at corner, top corner still available. You would argue Dante Jackson, who's been a very good player for the Carolina Panthers. I think he just left in real life this offseason. But he's been solid. He's probably going to be a pretty high rating. But I think we are truly in a best DB overall type position. And for that, we need Derwin James. And we'll go back to corner. Mike Hughes, chance. There's a chance he's not garbage. He's pretty bad. Draft recap. So a hit and a miss. Derwin James, 77 hit and dev. And for us, we're going to make him our free safety. So then we have, or I could keep him stronger than make Godfrey our free safety. Either way, upgrade there. Unfortunately, Von Bell kind of had to get up against him with the normal dev when we drafted him a couple years ago. So we're moving on there. Mike Hughes, 68. We got Christian Kirk, normal. Bilal Nichols, Josie Joel might have a dev. No. Derek Nottie and Darius Williams. Is that UAB Darius Williams? Oh man, you gotta give that guy a dev trade at least. So we got some name value, but ultimately this is the Derwin James class. For year 8, free agency underway. John Beeson re-signed. Tarek Snighton re-signed. Preston Smith re-signed. Grady Jarrett re-signed. Oh, and our team, they have just decided to finally put it together. Undefeated. Let's go 17-0 here. At the end of year 8, we win the NFC South, our second NFC South title of the rebuild, 12-5, which is our best record to date. So hopefully we can make it to the Super Bowl and go on and, just make it happen. I think Cam Newton's worthy of this. He's worthy of dominating just for how good he's 99's everything. 99's everything. He's the perfect quarterback. This year, 34 touchdowns, 9 picks. Pretty good. 14 and 16 for Jonathan Stewart. Goddamn, okay, he's getting better with age. Still just can't get anything going out of our skill position players. Defensively, Luke Kuechly, 124 tackles, 6 interceptions. That's good enough for me. 11 sacks to Son Riddick, 10 from Charles Johnson, 6 picks. Kuechly, 5 from Captain Munnerlyn. Bradbury with 3. And Derwin James, his rookie season, 104 tackles, 2 interceptions. And he is superstar Dev, helping transform this defense. Maybe kind of, yeah. Derwin James was like the missing piece. We'll ignore that. We'll ignore what that just said. Jonathan Stewart, Offensive Player of the Year. Good for him, I assume. Come on, he's not even running back of the year, but that's broken. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But either way, shout out to Jonathan Stewart. Everybody, both offense and defense, played pretty well outside of not having DeAndre Hopkins go off. But we're back into the playoffs, looking for our first playoff win in 5 years, 6 years, and we get it 33-30 over the Detroit Lions. A high-scoring matchup. Who does this? Was this Offensive Player of the Year Jonathan Stewart that went off, or was it Cam Newton? Kind of both. Cam Newton, RG3 going toe-to-toe. There we go. Kind of calling him out a little bit. 129 yards from DeAndre Hopkins. Marlin with a pick there. Nothing too crazy. All right, whatever. It just, gotta highlight that, man. It's been a minute since we have a playoff victory. So now we're moving on to the division round, taking on the Seattle Seahawks, a team that I feel like we've played every year. We've made the playoffs at some point. Coming a little bit of a mini rivalry. Absolutely. Fuck those guys. Pete Carroll sucks. The whole team sucks. Earl Thomas was right, flipping y'all the bird. Our most aggressive free agent period, there was a sad, depressing retirement, which was Greg Olsen. So we had to immediately try to find a replacement tight end. We got Jermaine Gresham, did pretty damn good, getting a 92 superstar. We got Luis Vasquez, 89 star dev guard, plug and play band-aid short-term option, and then Sherman into the backfield to help out the reigning offensive player of the year, Jonathan Stewart. Going into the 2019 draft, I'm going to pick the top corner. We need a corner. That's where this team should be trying to get better. I mean, you could go Darnell Savage and move him to corner. There was a chance that he was going to play that. Well, actually, Murphy Bunting should be good. He might actually have a depth trade. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, there we go. That's a hit. Let's go, baby. I just want to add a running back. Second round, whatever, right? Probably hidden dev. No, normal dev. Draft recap. Murphy Bunting, 73 hidden dev. David Montgomery, normal dev. Oh, great. Look, there's already some glitch. Fuck, man. If this thing crashes, I'm going to be upset. Rest of the draft, nothing special. Year 9, let's get a quick recap with the team. Not much has changed, but it's been a second. Look at that. We got 99 X Factor Hopkins, 99 X Factor Cam Newton. Jonathan Stewart has regressed. He's getting up there in age a little bit. But the rating defensive terror of the year, a.k.a. Offensive Player of the Year. 82, superstar, can get the job done. Most new, still holding on. Jonathan Gresham coming in. Big shoes to fill, taking over from Greg Olsen. G-Reg, O-line, S-tier. Everything about it. Defensively, is there a weakness? Reddick's high rating, even though there's no dev trait there. Derwin James, John Beeson, Luke Kuechly. The front four is outstanding. The secondary, Munderland, a superstar. Murphy Bunting, our first-round draft pick, and James Bradbury. This is 12-13 win team minimum here in year 9. And for the final in-house free agency period, a.k.a. guys, we want to go the full 10 years of the rebuild. We got Ryan Khalil, Charles Johnson, Captain Munderland. Mohamed Sanu hasn't been here the full 10, but we drafted him fairly early. He's been here for his whole career. James Bradbury, Godfrey going the full year, and I probably will still give a 1-year deal to Pot. Actually, you know what? No, we maybe will be able to get a younger, more dynamic D-tackle to play in. But there we go. Team, right now, I think we're going to make the playoffs. In year 9, very strong. I looked at the first little splash page. I was like, did we miss the playoff? But 12-5 first round bye, able to kick our feet up. Nice victory too, week 18 over Dallas. Look at the team. Top 5 offense, number 4 ranked defense. I mean, we've achieved the mission. This team is built. This is an S-tier squad. They just need to play with it. Cam Newton, 28 touchdowns. Brutal. A little bit more rushing, I suppose. But yeah, not the passing season. We're looking for 10 touchdowns. Curtis Samuel. Defensively, what do we got? 6 picks. So Lee Kuechly's at least been an absolute monster. This whole rebuild. Grady Jarrett, a little bit of a breakout year out of him. 10.5 sacks. 10.5 sacks, Charles Johnson. 8.5 Preston Smith. 8 for Hassan Riddick. 6 picks, Luke Kuechly. 5 for the veteran Captain Munderland, who did re-sign. And it's going to go the full 10 years of the rebuild. Hopefully we can get him a Super Bowl. Deshaun Watson is the MVP. Kind of weird how he ended up there. Take a look at the NFC. Looking for some Carolina Panthers. Nothing. The disrespect. I mean, off the top of my head, though, no one really had a crazy year. Could have given it to Kuechly, potentially. Well, let's see if we can go on a teeny tiny playoff run here. It's not the end of the world. We still have one more season to go, but I would, like to go on a run. I'd like to get at least back into the NFC Championship game. So here we go in the divisional round. We defeat the New York Giants 20-17. Close matchup, but now it is time to take down the Atlanta Falcons, the third place team in our freaking division, to go to the Super Bowl. If we lose this one, this team's an absolute fucking choke job, and that's exactly what they are. So this is what we're trying to get. LaShawn McCoy, Chris Culver, 2 X Factors that would be big time gets at big positions of need on offense and defense. And then DJ Reader, to step up for pot roast at D-tackle. Hopefully we get all 3. The bad news is we didn't get all 3. The good news is we got the 2 bigger ones. And now we just focus on the draft. We go best D-tackle available. Right up straight, just drafting the best D-tackle in this class. I don't know who actually that is. It's not a particularly strong class. It's probably one of these 3. Raekwon Davis, Devon Hamilton, Neville Gallimore. You know me. When in doubt, go with the Canadian. Draft recap. I just made the first pick. We got out of there. We got Neville Gallimore, 68 normal. We had Jacob Eason in the second round, 69 normal. Starting to get a plan in place for post Cam Newton, in fantasy land once this rebuild is done. Rest of the class fairly average, but we had a really good free agency, so I think we're definitely going to be putting ourselves in a good spot to win that Super Bowl here at the final shot of this goddamn game, year 10. In year 10, here is our team. This is it. This is as good of a work we've done as anyone could probably do in 10 years with the Carolina Panthers. 99 X Factor Newton. Now, Stewart has been good, but the regression and stuff like that, we just had to go all in. So we got Shady McCoy, and you also might as well maximize 3 X Factors on offense. DeAndre Hopkins, 99. We got Mo Sanu, Curtis Samuel, Lane Johnson, Trey Turner, Ryan Khalil, Luis Vasquez, Jeff Oda, and Jermaine Gresham make up just a dominant offensive line. Defensively, we got Preston Smith, bump him up here, Neville Gallimore, our first-round pick, Grady Jarrett, and Charles Johnson doing the full 10. Much like John Beeson, who was at once upon a time at full 99. Now he's regressed down to an A6, but still good. Luke Kuechly, 99, obviously. Hassan Riddick. You know what? I never even mentioned Hassan Riddick was on the Carolina Panthers last year. Very good pass rusher. Hopefully keeps crushing it for my Philadelphia Eagles. We got Godfrey doing the full 10 years, 77 X Factor. Of course, Derwin James. We just signed Chris Culliver. James Bradbury there. And Captain Munnerlyn X Factor doing the full 10. Let's get these guys a Super Bowl. And year 10, we win our 3rd straight NFC South title. But that's not what we did this rebuild for. We didn't do it to win divisional titles. We did it to win a freaking Super Bowl. And nice rivalry matchup here. All or nothing for a run here. But let's take a last look at our stats this season. And we'll look at, career stats. Cam Newton, 33 touchdowns, 4,000 yards passing. Huge year to Shady McCoy, 16 and 17. 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns for DeAndre Hopkins. Defensively, John Beeson, 138 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 4 picks. 11.5 sacks, Riddick. 11.5 Preston Smith. 10 for Charles Johnson. Luke Kuechly, what an absolute monster, man. Take a look at the yearly awards. Man, Shady McCoy had a hell of a year. He's probably up there. So there we go. Yeah, he is our representative at that number 8 spot. Looking quickly here through the players of the year. Man, Mark Ingram has been crushing it this whole rebuild. But let's look at our career stats, because this is going to be it. Cam Newton, 43,000 yards passing, 329 touchdowns to 114 interceptions. Rushing numbers, unfortunate. There's just no way to have a fun, accurate, scrambling quarterback without having them be an absolute liability throwing the football in this game. 9,000 yards, 116 touchdowns for Jonathan Stewart. Receiving, we have 8K on the dot for DeAndre Hopkins. So that I have, 1,000 a year, which is, I'm good with that. 7,700 yards, 51 touchdowns, Mo Sanu. Defensively, we have 1,300 tackles, John Beeson. 1,100 from Luke Kuechly. 900 for Munnerlyn. On the sacks front, 99. Could have got one more. Hopefully he goes back for one more year. 100 sacks for Charles Johnson. Interceptions, 36 picks from Luke Kuechly. Absurd numbers, man. Absurd numbers. These guys, this has been a great rebuild from really how I was able to build this team. But we need this freaking Super Bowl. So here in the wildcard round, first up is the divisional rival, New Orleans Saints. And we crushed them 42-10. Let me get a look at that one. 42-10. Like, is this like year 10 man on a mission type shit? It is. 3 touchdowns from Cam Newton. Over 100 yards for Shady McCoy. 2 touchdowns, Mo Sanu and Shady McCoy. 2 sacks, Hassan Riddick. He also had a pick. He was unstoppable. And we're moving on to the next round to take on the 4 seed San Francisco 49ers. I believe they were the team one year that beat us in the championship game. All right, so taking a look at it, 89. We actually are the underdog. That's not too often that we get to year 10 that our team isn't like well into the 90s and easily the best team in the conference. But we handle business here against the 49ers, 38. Another high-scoring game, man. Usually I wouldn't even care because it's like you win like, 17-13 or something stupid like that. But 38. I want to know, like, is it Shady? Yeah. LaShawn McCoy is going to be, I think, pretty crucial. A little bit of a cheat code here. helping us try to get this thing over the line in year 10, as it sets up an NFC Championship game against the Minnesota Vikings, the 1 seed. I wonder what they added to be the 1 seed. We were pretty good, so they must have been a little bit better. Probably like 12 wins, 13 wins, 6. That's actually going against them. Anytime I've had a team that's gone 15, 16 plus wins, you usually choke at some point. And they choked! 38 again. That's just what you can count. You can put, you go into a restaurant with Cam Newton, you say, I'll put down 38. Just trust me. I'll be there in time. Just get me 38. That's what he's been doing every game this playoff. Showing up, getting touchdowns. Look, they had Connor Cook at quarterback. They went 16-1 with Connor Cook? That's certainly a thing to kind of play out. I didn't know. Maybe Vikings have like an OP playbook with that 3 interceptions, exposing their quarterback. I don't know how 16 other teams, 17, 18 other teams or whatever couldn't figure that out. And now we get a rematch from Super Bowl something 2000s as the 11-6 Carolina Panthers take on the 10-7 New England Patriots. I love the fight in this team. It knows they know we're under fire here. It's year 10, all or nothing. They're giving us at least an opportunity to go out and win a Super Bowl. Let's go. Hop in, front row, and watch it happen. All right, we are taking on the New England Patriots. They got pretty much the Patriots that you think, except replace Tom Brady. They have Andrew Luck. That's the big difference here. And I wonder if we'll have to come in for any moments. I hope not. I mean, I might sneak in just to see. We got Escape Riders Cam Newton. That's probably pretty fun. But we get the opening score of the game and a quick turnover. Defense wins championships, 14-6 for the Carolina Panthers. At least, look, in worst case scenario, we get a field goal here. We get the touchdown, and we prevent them from scoring 21-9 into the second half. I am seeing exactly what I want to see for this team to go on and win. Man, there's chunk plays. The defense is just tighten them up, making them take forever once they get on our side of the 50. And we got it. I think this is the second time in a retro rebuild. Year 10 is when we win the Super Bowl. I don't know. They must know. Phenomenal. I was getting ready to get angry. I was like, oh, here we go. Of course, make history. First retro rebuild not to win a Super Bowl with the Carolina Panthers. Like, it has to happen. I almost just want to get it out of the way. But the Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton, everybody, our little ringer that we brought in this year in free agency, LaShawn McCoy, was not going to let that happen. As Cam Newton, there's no fumbles. He had to worry about diving on, not diving on. Outduels Andrew Luck. Two of the, now it's almost like they're forgotten how good they were. It was not that long ago that Andrew Luck and Cam Newton were regarded as like two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Cam Newton gets his Super Bowl MVP, 242 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no pick. I don't think he threw an interception this entire playoff run. Turnover-free football from Cam Newton is a major reason why the Carolina Panthers were able to secure that Super Bowl victory here in year 10. So let me know in the comment section below, guys. First of all, if you enjoyed this rebuild, do that. Comment, like for the YouTube algorithm, but make sure you let me know in the comment section below what team you want to see next on the retro rebuilds. I always like seeing suggestions. I don't, not necessarily mean that's 100% that one I'm going to do, but when I see reasons, when I see people say you should run it back for this, and this reason, it gives me a little inspiration to maybe move that team up the list. But a very successful rebuild. I appreciate you guys for checking into today's video. Subscribe if it is your first time stopping by. And that'll do it, man. Love ya. Appreciate ya. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.